mother-in-law from Peru.
Hello.
Okay.
Say right there's a camera. She doesn't understand English too well. You have to go right there, Gladys. Sit down in a chair.
Okay.
Buenas, ¿qué tal estás?
Bien, muy bien, muy bien.
Yo vivía en el País Vasco, en el norte de España, un año en 86.
Ya. Qué bueno.
No me recuerdo tanto, pero entiendo bastante.
Español.
Well,
Muy bueno, muy bueno.
¿De dónde eres?
She's got a kind heart. Right?
Yo soy de Perú.
Do you know how to say gratitude in Spanish? I'm trying to tell her gratitude. Let me look it up.
Gratitude, how do you say? ¿Cómo se dice? Is it not? It might be. I don't know, actually.
Actually, I was going to ask her about gratitude in Spanish.
Gratitud, no?
Gratitud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Mark wanted to know how to say it. Gratitude in Spanish. Yeah, gratitud. It's the same.
Yeah.
So,
Qué bueno.
How long? ¿Cuánto tiempo vas a estar en Florida?
Acá resido. Enero del próximo año regreso a Perú, unos 4 o 5 meses, y después regreso a Florida.
Oh.
Sí, y yo estoy viviendo acá en Florida.
Right, I get it now.
Sí, tengo mi casa en Boca Ratón.
Ajá, ya lo entiendo.
Ya, gratitud.
I thought your mother-in-law had come over to visit from Peru.
Yeah,
she lives in Florida now. Yeah.
It's
Fantastic.
awesome. You know, she's a wonderful lady, right, Gladys?
Yes.
¿Cómo es el Perú? ¿Cómo es?
¿No conoces?
Nunca he estado.
Un español que se ha traído las riquezas de los ancestros de España, de Perú a España, tiene que conocer.
Yes.
Vaya cuando pueda visitar, es muy bonito. Machu Picchu, todo.
Bueno.
Hay muchas cosas por conocer.
Tiene montañas.
Tiene costa, sierra, selva.
Selva, yeah.
Yeah. En el sur está Machu Picchu. Está en las ruinas de Pachacamac.
Yeah.
Está, ¿cómo se llama? En Ica está la Bocachina.
Yeah.
Ahí, ¿cómo se llama? Hay cosas bonitas para ver, turísticas.
Okay.
Para el norte hay la Huaca del Sol, la Huaca de la Luna. Eso está en La Libertad. Después más para el norte está el Señor de Zipán.
Oh. Okay.
Cosas valiosas e importantes que debe conocer si tiene oportunidad de ir para allá.
Okay, I will. Ya me voy.
Ya, está bien. Y la gastronomía también.
Oh, yeah, the food, muy bien. Me gusta la comida. Oh, yeah, cocina.
Y yo cocino acá para Marquito, a él le gusta mi comida.
He does.
Love. You know, it's a recipe.
Well, I'm going to come to Florida soon, sometime in the next 6 months probably, so I'll have to come and meet you then.
Definitely.
Ya, mucho gusto, ¿ah? Me llamo Gladys.
Encantado.
Adiós.
Adiós. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego. Gracias.
Ya,
Marquito.
Gladys, muchos gustos.
Mucho gusto, sí, Gladys.
So that was my mother-in-law, and you know, she's Chow.
Yeah.
She's a very loving,
Yeah.
you know, good-spirited woman, and I love having her in the house. I'm very grateful. You know, like the things that we're grateful for. That you know, sometimes my script, you know, doesn't like it, but then I'm grateful for it because it's like we all love each other. You know, it's all being a part of the family. And I like family. You know. So gratitude.
Your post on Google Plus and on Udemy that I saw, really good stuff. It's quite a breakthrough, that, isn't it, to realize that actually it's your script trying to get you to be grateful for the good things. It's very, very, very wise. Good download.
I had one on the way, you know, over, you know, my way home from work, and you know, this 13x4 system. If this is like the first week,
I know.
Actually, no, the first week of gratitude, right?
First
And it's
cycle.
4 more cycles.
Yeah.
And I can just imagine the effect because all right, so I came up with a new word, and I'm going to post it on a Google Plus page, and it has to do with willpower and gratitude. So actually, I like making these new words and everything. You know, it's I don't know. I feel I attach to it more. You know, so like the Gratifuel, it's awesome.
Gratifuel,
So
love it.
I
Mark,
wrote
actually,
on Gratifuel.
when you sat a little bit closer to the screen, there was a lot more light on your face. I don't know whether
All
you
right.
could. Yeah.
How's that?
Perfect. Sit back now a little bit. Perfect.
That means move my.
That's it.
It's not bad.
Yeah. It looks
So
good.
gratitude, Tom.
Gratifuel. Yeah.
A lot to be gratitude for because actually the
I got
other
it.
word is actually I want it's I'll just say it. It's gratitude plus willpower
Willitude.
is
Gratipower.
gratipower.
Yeah.
So I use my gratipower when I focus on my vision.
It's good stuff.
So it's like a verb, you know, and
Yeah.
I kind of like using gratipower, you know. Gratipower power is my gratifuel. So gratitude, this is what I had to download about, is that, you know, I think, you know, in terms of my script, I can speak from my own experience.
Yeah.
When you, or when I, because I'll speak from the I, because
Yeah.
I'm the one experiencing it. So when I experience full gratitude for all, but full gratitude, more awesomeness starts happening. And it doesn't have to be good or bad, but it's all different things. But sometimes my script misinterprets everything and separates into a category of good and bad, you know? So it becomes like, you know, so what happens is we become what we think about. And if we are always thankful and having gratitude and being focused on gratitude, what will happen is that you start feeling it more, it becomes your focus, and it starts becoming who you are. Your gratitude. And what does gratitude do? Gratitude attracts more. Because it's like, you know, you're like a magnet, and all of a sudden I'm attracting other gratitude magnets. So it's like an energy. So gratitude attracting gratitude and then multiplying becomes like, you know, a huge power source of grateful things and really good things, you know? And when I'm feeling like full gratitude, a lot of great things start happening. And what happens is that my script interprets it wrong, and all of a sudden, I start interpreting things as, not appreciating things too much. And then all of a sudden, but the thing is, it's happening quicker now, so I'm realizing that my lesson that I'm learning is manifesting more quicker instead of over a period of time. See, a lot of people say, you know, things happen, you know, but don't just happen. We've been thinking about our life the whole entire time.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know that I'm always thinking, whatever I'm thinking about, I'm creating, and it's happening in a certain time period or whatever, but it's going to happen, you know? So why not think about the things you want and feel gratitude and not separate good from bad? Because what starts happening is I start having cycles, ups and downs, which I shared about. And it's so true, and then it becomes tougher to become grateful. And as you'll see is that a chart would be, you know, you're experiencing a lot of gratitude, and all these great things are happening. And then your script starts interpreting it as being great and awesome. And then all of a sudden you start feeling great and awesome, which is fantastic, because we all want to feel great and awesome, but for some, it's too much. Some can't handle a lot of great and awesome. It's tough for the script to realize and accept. And that's the whole thing in the script blocks, that overly abundance of awesomeness. And then it creates a cycle. Because it's like, whoa, this is going to stop over here. And when we think about it, like, you know, unconscious things start happening that I don't worry about, but they start happening. You know, you might be late or whatever, and all of a sudden it manifests something like traffic lights turning red, when it's turning green, and all of a sudden, like, you know, you feel something different at work or whatever. I know now, I'm so much more aware of when I'm in that downward gratitude cycle. And then I can get out of it a lot more quick. And then I'm aware when I'm in it, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just working on stretching it more. But stretching it full, but no, it's different now. It's not the good and bad gratitude, it's turning the full spectrum of gratitude. Because when you start getting, it's just, you start getting information.
You've got it, buddy. You've got it.
You start getting this information and how you're reading information, but it's all the same. There's no good or bad. Everything's the same. What are we attaching onto the information? So if you have this gratitude thing, you're like a gratitude magnet, and you're bringing more and more, and the people around you. But then, you know, also one thing I noticed too.
Yeah, go on.
When I'm in my downward cycle stage,
Yep.
I'm not the only one that's in a downward cycle stage. Everybody around me is in a downward cycle stage.
Yeah.
It's kind of bizarre because you know what?
You've got the power.
My reality becomes what I think about. You know, I'm reflecting, people reflecting to me my reality when I'm putting out there. And that's the whole entire thing. So if I'm fully grateful and feeling grateful, look what's happening now for some reason. Everybody is getting this full funk of gratitude. Look at this. Look at the boards and everything. I didn't get a chance to read everything. I was in the car the whole entire way here, but gratitude is going crazy. And people are doing some awesome things, you know. And then like I have a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah.
And a lot of grateful things are happening. And my script really downplays a lot of the awesomeness that it is because it's like no big deal, you know. My script has a very good way of like, you know, downplaying any particular event or whatever, you know. Yeah. And the thing is that I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds too familiar, you know. My brother is that. My brother downplays, but the thing is, the guy is super successful, you know. Yeah. But it works for him. And that's my script. Like it's in our family because my dad's like that, you know. It's like my script is not me, you know. It's like my family, my upbringing, my environment. That's what my script is. And always challenging me to like, you know, I'm beginning to realize trying to be more grateful. And if I interpret the messages differently, from a standpoint of gratitude, everything is different. The whole entire perspective changes to. Because everything, if you think about it, if you're grateful for everything, right?
Yeah.
You're grateful for all that you have and all that you don't have, all the good, all the bad, you know? Then everything is just the same. You know, everything is, but has different weights to it. But it's gifts. Everything is a gift in life. Even like, you know, when you think about it, like how many, although tragedy really, really is horrible, and we really wish no tragedy anybody. But what does tragedy do? It brings more awesomeness. Whatever tragic event happens becomes more awesomeness out of it. Yeah. And it you know, and sometimes it takes a tragic event, but like, you know, gratitude. You know, people become grateful, more grateful, you know, and they celebrate the people that pass on or whatever happens. Because you can't like, you know, let, you know, whatever, because what is tragedy anyway? You know, it's like a script tool, you know, to test out gratitude. If you think about it, like, if we could break it down a little bit, gratitude is like the underlying energy that I think that it comes from source, you know. And also one thing is that I could have different conversations with like people. And tomorrow I am having lunch with this guy that I told you about, Jacob. He's a very, like Judaism, like mystic Judaism. It's some crazy ass stuff. I mean, I'm just, you know, I'm pretty sure every religion or whatever says that, but why religion? Because all the same thing they're all talking about, you know. So awesome. We all know what they say about what people were able to do with the mind and everything like that. And you know, gratitude. We're gonna have a discussion about gratitude tomorrow from like the whole entire soul perspective, because he's very into like there's different layers of the soul. You know, really? That we have. The different layers, I think that there's, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to misquote myself, but there's different layers of the soul that we have that we get to, and then obviously, you know, as you advance more and more, the levels get more and more difficult, and you know, but the thing is that the gifts become more, like, everything becomes more and more of a gift. There's a lot less challenges and everything like that. It's just, it's the whole entire. I'm going to ask him more about that. About because gratitude is definitely the force that brings in more greatness. And that's the whole thing is that gratitude. I'm grateful for a lot of things. Like I'm grateful that. I mean, I still think about this. Things that at the moment, right?
Yeah.
You don't know why you did it. Listen, I never heard of Tom Cassidy. no, nothing that I never heard of you.
Yeah.
I get emails from a lot of marketing people. I never heard of who you were. I get something like whatever. But and then all of a sudden, like I saw this. I think it was a free. I don't even remember, but I clicked on the program. I never even started it.
Yeah.
It was just sitting there with the other programs I got. And when I clicked on it, for some reason, I'm grateful. I'm grateful I did that because I could have deleted it.
Yeah, you get hundreds of emails like me every day, right?
Yeah, I could have deleted it, And I went in and then the WhatsApp thing has just been, I'm so grateful for that because that's like
that's the catalyst, isn't it?
That's the pure awesomeness. I mean, that's like that. I'm so grateful for that concept of thought that you thought of, You thought of it. It was your thought, I'll try this out.
Yes, let's see what happens.
And yeah, right now, like, I mean, I think we're having a good success rate. There are a couple of people that dropped off that I haven't heard from in a while, and I would love to hear from them again.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. But that guy Blake and Bevan. Remember Bevan?
Yeah.
Like I really felt that because it's going on right now, with Greater Life for All, because everybody is kind of a piece in this thing, and we're actually, the cool thing about it is that, like, we're doing it, I really like, and one thing that I like doing is, like, it's funny how, like, I chose it, maybe my script chose it, but anyway, my career is recruiting, and I recruit technology people, and I always think about that, I talk to technology people all the time, and this is a technology thing that we're involved in here and everything, and I like to interview people and recruit people and talk to people, and this is like the perfect avenue, for all that, Greater Life for All, I like, bringing it up to everybody, and, I'm gonna start, like, what I'm gonna start doing is, writing more, like, one-liners about Greater Life for All and stuff that I write, I think that, like, I could probably start, because you know what, actually, you shared something before, and I was thinking about it, is that, like, my life is practice for Greater Life for All time, like, I feel like I'm filling the role of Greater Life for All and everything I do, and I'm a direct representation of the Greater Life for All where I am, people will see it like I'm me, and I'm living Greater Life for All, and everything I do, and, like, and it makes me more conscious of what I'm doing and everything. It keeps my script, like, more on alert, stuff like that, because I'm representing myself, and I'm also representing my vision of Greater Life for All and all that I do. So I always want to put my best into it, and I'm seeing that the cycles, like I said before, getting shorter and shorter, I'm having a lot more gratitude, and gratitude is definitely, something that
there's this quote by Ruth posted it up, and it's a quote by some Roman emperor, and he took Cicero. Okay, gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. And everything. That's why gratitude is the gateway, because everything comes from that. It gives birth to all the other virtues. And that makes a lot of sense to me. And I've been thinking about, the first thing is awareness, because without awareness you can't even get to gratitude. So you need awareness, and then you choose, and you choose gratitude. And once you've got the gratitude, then that leads to faith. And then the faith leads you to have the vision, because, not that you didn't want the vision anyway, but if you didn't have gratitude and you didn't have faith, you would never really build your proper vision, because you would never think that it would come to you. You're not going to do something if you don't have the faith, really.
No.
You don't really have the faith, you won't really do it. I'd like to have some money, I'd like to travel, but if you don't have the faith, the living faith, you won't actually create the definite
Tom,
vision.
that's the part where I, in my own life, I see myself, like I having the faith and being full of gratitude actually, really is a catalyst for bringing in more, and I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Just having the faith is always going to happen, But obviously, it's like, who am I to interpret what thing is going to happen is going to be a good thing or bad thing? And that's the whole thing. News. There's no good news, bad news. It's just news.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking also about, in sports, right? There's a championship, but one team wins. But I don't think one team wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both of them win, because look at this. These guys are living a dream. Like, how many people get a chance to be a professional player in this world and gets the championship?
Yeah. I saw something today just on this. There's a tennis player from, not sure where was she from. I think she's from the Czech Republic, called Martina Navratilova. She was kind of big in the 70s and the 80s. Navratilova, tennis. She won a bunch of things, probably, I don't know whether she won the American Open or whatever, but she won Wimbledon a few times. And she said, the moment of winning is far too short for winning to be the only thing. It's just, if that was all you're interested in, you're playing the wrong game, because you need to enjoy everything, the training, the build-up, the competition, the battle, the tournament, the travel, the people you meet. And as you said, it takes the same amount of time to win the final or lose the final, right?
Yeah.
So that whole thing, it's got to be just as good to, I mean, who cares, really? Really, actually, that's why sports is such an interesting one. So really doesn't make any difference if someone else wins, really.
No, it doesn't, because I don't see these people. I mean, like, there are people, all right? I mean, the script really can take people to extremes, but, there are, a lot of people that retire from sports or that never won a championship, and they're not depressed and killing themselves. They're grateful, Obviously, it would have been more else, but they're so grateful that they had the opportunity to play in that, because, like, not many people do. And, like, I know that's a high extreme, but being grateful for the things in our lives as we have them, to me, brings me more. But, what the problem happens is that people only have a certain amount of that willpower.
To keep focused on what is important.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
The willpower to will yourself, because it's so much easier to think, because look at this. What happens when a team loses a sport? I'm going to use a sport thing. What happens when a team, it's all over the news. The news broadcasts it everywhere. It's on the radio, it's on TV. This team lost. There's a winner and a loser, Yeah. They make winners and losers. The media makes, like, winners and losers. The people make winners and losers. The script, feeds into that, winner or loser. But there isn't winner or losers. We're all winners. I think we're all winners. I feel like being a winner, Being
alive.
But the thing is that the separation occurs from the script dictating it's got to be winner or loser.
Well, of course, sorry, go on, Karen.
Yeah, you got it.
I was saying the sport is, it's entirely on the competitive plane, isn't it, really? That's the whole point, because it is a competition. So no wonder if we observe this, and the most important people in our society, the most celebrated people, are the sports people who win things or lose things. And it's just like, really, no wonder people are living on the competitive plane if that's kind of comes out, and it's winning resources, having stuff.
You don't have to be a loser.
Yeah, exactly. Now, where we're going, that doesn't happen.
Like, one thing with that I figured out with I'm doing a program for recovery.
Yeah.
And the first step in recovery is surrender. That's the term for surrender. And I kind of like came up. Obviously I'm not rewriting the program, but I'm creating a 13x4, and I'm basing them kind of like on something that could really, for me, that I could identify with, right? So the first step is I have the person identify himself as something. Are you what are you? Like, are you
yourself? Yeah.
The disease or whatever?
Yeah.
And the second step is not surrender.
Yeah.
Because surrender is like there's a winner, right? But it's like had enough. I had enough. I'm done with that. That's the second thing. So all week you focus on being done with that.
Yeah.
I am moving on. So the statement is, I am done with that. I am moving on. You know, so every time the thought or whatever comes up about the thing you don't want, which is identification, I'm done with that. I'm moving on. So keep thinking that in the back of your head for every day for a week. And that would help, like, you know, especially an addict or whatever, overcome their addicted, twisted thinking. Because you know what? I have it. I have the addicted, twisted thinking. I will always have it. It's my script. You know, my script was going to be there, but I'm learning from it, you know. I just misinterpreted the message that I was getting into doing the wrong thing, you know. That's what we do. And that's what our life is I get messages from the script, and if we listen to it, we would, like, you know, but we listen to it anyway. You know, if we're conscious of it or not, we're still listening to it. So that's the gratitude is definitely, I'm grateful for everything that happened. I could say as a straight face, because you know what, this is something that my friend told me, right? My bottom was, I mean, I bottomed out past that, but my first bottom was the bottom. Unemployed, no car, no money, and, you know, I was with just a credit card. And my friends tell me, get this one, during those days when I had nothing but a bicycle, no job, nothing, I was the most happiest. When I had nothing. They said you were so grateful, you were so happy, but as I started getting more, this is what happened, my script started feeding into the more, creating ups and downs, and that's what's happened. Like, as I got more, my script created cycles. When I actually had nothing but a bicycle, I was most happiness.
Yeah.
Because my script had nothing really to play with.
Yeah.
You know? When you're at the bottom with her, but like, what, it's like, but I was so grateful for, like, because, you know, my bottom could have gotten a lot deeper, you know, so I was kind of like, you know, like I was ready for that surprise, like this guy to talk about this, this like, you know, bottom door, right, opening, you know, like the floor falling through your feet.
Trap door kind of thing, yeah.
Like the trap door opening, and I was waiting for that trap door to open up for, like, at least, you know, my first, like, month or so, you know, I was waiting for, like, oh my God, and my first sponsor told me just gotta let it go, you know, be grateful, you know, and it finally, like, started sitting in, I started, like, becoming it, you know, and the whole thing is that, like, it became my default setting, and one thing I'm starting to realize now is I could do that now. Like, once you do something before, you could do it again, because we're like our own auto robot, you know. We have like our own cloud, you know, device. You know, we have our own data warehouse. Our brain, it's like our giant computer, and we have access to information in the cloud. We have our own cloud, the human cloud, to store us of data. That's why I like technology, because I can relate technology to us and everything, you know. So my data is in the cloud. I get downloads all the time of awesome data, and how I interpret them is this choice of my script or something. Because I have choice also, you know.
It's like the awareness and all that. All these algorithms are like operating systems, aren't they, for your brain, for your thinking? You know, if you've got a great operating system, you'll probably function well. If you've got a lousy operating system, it'll work for you. So that's kind of good. Listen, one thing I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
What's getting you really juiced up? What's getting you most excited about all the things? You know, what are you in the future? All the things that you're going to do. What's really got you most fired up?
Are you nuts? Oh my God, are we not in the same wavelength or line? I was just going to talk about that, you know, because I have. See, I wish. I mean, not wish, but somehow I'd like to just. I mean, I know I can get to that point, that stage where I can just manifest the things that I'm thinking about, like, instantly. but I get so many different ideas about things, and you know, I would write my book, but I put that on hold a little bit. And then this Great Life for All thing is like really the top of my list. But the thing that I enjoy the most, that really ties into everything, is I'm really loving and putting my focus on is on my T. Wish show.
That's
Because it's sort of like I'm living a dream, and I'm actually having an audience. Like my friend, you know, a good friend of mine that I've known for a while, saw it and they liked it, you know. And I'm not doing any advertising or nothing. I'm just getting a lot of joy out of it, you know. And it's I think it's helpful to people, and I really, because I like asking questions. And you know what? I interview people at work all day long, so I'm bringing it to my work. And the questions that I'm asking people, I like my script create, you know, a script. My script has a script of what I say to who. Yeah. So I'm like when I'm talking, when I'm interviewing people on T with, I'm really unscripted, and I'm asking questions that, you know, I feel from my intuition for talking to people. I'm really in tune with my intuition. And sometimes I can be smack on with somebody, like Andrea.
Andrea, that's great.
That was sick. I'm telling you, like, we had...
That's fun.
Such fun. It was like, I felt like it was like a flow of just talk. You know, it was seamless. And I like that. And connecting with people, you know, so... What's curtailing to is in my work, I'm getting more in tune, like asking deeper questions of people. There's one thing that came up is, you know, I shared about this woman that, you know, turned out, like, it became such a scripted, like, fiasco that the end result was that she didn't take the job anyway, you know. But I'm like right now, I'm like, you know, I'm laughing about it. You know, it didn't affect me. Like before, it would have really, like my manager, not my other manager, but my account manager, she had pretty much a scripted response because she was actually dealing with it firsthand. You know, like well, you know, the details or whatever, but she was more frustrated about it. But I just like kind of let it go, and I was just not choosing to be engaged in that feeling, you know. And actually, today was an awesome day, and I just felt more and more awesome. Then I started feeling like, wait a minute, like if I have this experience of gratitude and feel it and be in it, everything feels like my feeling of gratitude, and I like feeling grateful.
You've gone straight to
grateful is an awesome feeling for me, you know. And that's what happens. And the script is like, wait, this is too awesome, right? The script says it can't be real. Like, wow, this is too awesome, you know. This can't be real because, you know, a lot of people how often people get the rug pulled underneath them, you know. They feel everybody's felt awesome. That's a whole entire problem with a lot of people. Is everybody's felt that feeling. And then what happens is the script pulls the rug underneath them, and it becomes a theme in people's lives, you know. And if we could just, you know, all experience the same level of gratitude, there's all gratitude, and it all dates back to the beginning of time. Gratitude's been there. We had every tree that we could do. What do? We go to the tree that the script tells us to go to, right? Everything you could choose, we listen to the script. You know, and what if that choice wasn't made? You know, where would you be right now? So I guess in this chaotic world as it is, with all the whatever, the randomness that's going on and everything. But I think that, you know, if everybody, I like the thing you talked about the other time. You know, I think it's like doing, you know, kind of like anti-terrorism, you know, having cells all over the place and just focusing on one thing. Imagine if enough people in one area just focusing on the same thing, like gratitude, and just not just focusing, but being it.
Yeah, being the example.
Everywhere. So just being happy, right? Can you imagine everybody did it for, this is going to be all day, because that would be awesome for one day, you know.
1 minute.
Yeah, that's it. And it would have like an effect. Like, you know, like you drop a little bit of, if you drop throw a pebble in the water, what happens? The ripple effect goes always out to the edge. And if it's done more frequently enough, it becomes like, what was it? We lost power today at work, right?
Yeah.
And the cell phones went down. I thought about that, and someone's saying maybe an alien came and pulsated. A pulsate, you know, that knocks out all the power. Terrorists. right? The power of the building went up.
Alien
Think about it. Can you imagine just a gratitude pulse? All of a sudden, everybody just sitting there, ooh, they feel grateful. They don't even know why. That can happen.
That would be interesting, almost to have, you know, at one time in the week, on each week's focus, one time it's like, okay, everybody, now you've got in 10 minutes, wherever you are in the world, poof, we're all going to go and press and hold down the button and focus gratitude and just send it out there. And then like 3 minutes.
Everybody presses the button.
30 seconds, press the button, do a minute. You know. And then
you got to keep your hand on the button. I think you just keep your hand on the button because that way, you know, that'd be awesome.
Because they do that in England. They probably do that in America.
They hook into the computer, and then it would be data. You know, you'd be collecting data, like how many people are pressing the button, and for how long.
Yeah.
Everything is data. I went to the data warehouse conference. It's incredible. It's data warehouse. Big data. You know what big data is? A lot of big data, you know? It's funny how we complicate things. It's been around forever. We just put another twist on it. Data warehouse has been around forever. You know, the guy, you know, put a name to it, talks about it, you know, very brilliant guy, though. Guy's a genius, you know? Such a wonderful concept, data warehouse, because it's data. But the thing is that one thing that he said is companies misinterpret the data. So if we're going to gather data, we need to gather data, you know, based upon answers to questions, stuff like that. Like, you know, so there's weight, experiences, people's words are the same. You know, the weight of those words. How often is saying awesome? How the same person saying awesome out to the world? Measuring that. That's the and then we could chart it. And you know what's funny is that at this data warehouse thing, he was showing like data that this company had, you know, stored from the data warehouse about call centers, and it had the whole entire 24-hour chart that all the calls that are received. And the time intervals, like what each thing represents a different thing. You know, a complaint about service being out, a bill. Each category has a different color, right? And then the chart indicates like what time intervals you get the most calls in the height of the chart. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty amazing stuff. You know, no one's really calling at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, but it's data. It's good data to have. You know, and we could get this data and store and like see like measure the 13x4 effect.
That's right.
And the effect on people. How often are they doing it? And it could be an individual and a collective thing, because a collective group becomes the whole, you know? Because ultimately thinking, like, you know, we're all, I think we're all like, you know, kind of like the same, we attach on to the same, like, who's that Parry? Is she a friend of yours?
Yeah.
The Thought Train, right?
Right.
I love the thought train. I was thinking about that, but that's we're on the same thought train, you know. Like my interpretation, the thought train that goes on, you know, for forever. You know,
we're all on the train at the same time for a while, and we'll all get off at different times. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
I can feel all that stuff.
The thing that would be interesting, because say using WhatsApp or the technology in the 13x4 app, you've got the ability to. Obviously, you've got the words that people put in. You've got the time stamping, so you can track the velocity at which certain words. So it might be awesome was mentioned, you know, 32 times in this 2-minute period, and you know 162 times in this. Let's see what was happening in the world at this time and see what happened as a result. Yeah.
This is such awesome stuff, you know. Yeah. And we got to put that into a data. We got to put that into a database, save everything, because this is all valuable stuff. All these archives is just most valuable information, because this is like the awesomeness experience, or the whole entire reasonable experience, you know, and the effect and the time. Because right now, like, we all go through. I think we're all going. I think that, you know, it's not a race. No one's racing over here, but everybody has their different levels of where the awareness is actually, you know, goes. You know, like their awakenings. You know. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. Some of them get it. A lot of people are getting it. A lot of people are getting advanced, and really some people you know, and you know, some of are really on these awesome downloads. I'm seeing really awesome stuff everywhere. You know, on the Google Plus page, also on the the Udemy site, people sharing some awesome stuff, and it's good. It's really awesome stuff.
I think one good measure of how well something's going. I mean, while we're on talking now, the phone is going crazy. Your phone probably is as well. But one really good measure, I think, is the rate at which people come up with their own ideas, their own downloads, compared to quoting other people's things and sharing about books that they've read. And I think the rate at which people are moving towards just saying, hey, what about this? I was thinking about this, and just sharing their own thoughts and not trying to. That's the rate at which they're getting in touch with their own intuition.
That's true. That's a very
good measure of the awareness, really, isn't it?
There's a lot of awesomeness being going around there, and I really like it, and I like when we're all becoming I like the playful aspect of everything. It's become very playful at times, and I really like seeing how people are actually evolving and becoming. We're all becoming at the same time, and this is such an awesome growth experience, and it's only been. Well, we're heading into week 10, right?
Yeah, we're just ending week 9, and we had about 3 or 4 weeks, didn't we, beforehand in the pre-roll?
Well, it's only been like 10 weeks.
Yeah.
It's such a short period of time when you think about it. And it's just the amount of growth and the weekly focus is really something that people are starting to get more and more in tune with. Of the weekly focus.
I don't think people really understand the power of that initially. They like the idea and they think, oh yeah, that'll be quite good. Yeah, I can see how that works. But when you actually do it, you realize the deep ingraining every time you really. Because I think I didn't know how well it. I didn't really know how well it was going to work. I knew Ben Franklin came up with the original idea a long time ago. But you always wonder whether you can mess around with stuff, whether or not, if you do it with your own things, how well it's going to work. And each time it worked, I didn't really know why it was working. But now I think I know why. And I think just about everything else creates too much pressure, and it creates too much, I have to do this every day forever. I have to change like this. Whereas the beauty of this is because you're changing the focus, you know that you're only going to have to do this for a week.
Yeah.
And you know that you're going to get to do something different the following week, so your brain doesn't go into this kind of, this is permanent, this is forever. So it keeps the excitement, keeps the interest, and it just keeps you plugged in.
So one thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if you said it or read it in a book, but for now, ever since I started this is the only thing I read or do. Is just this. I don't want to, my mind, right? I like this. My script, it messes things up. It confuses things, So if I start reading too many things, I start thinking too many different things, I'll confuse myself. I'm not saying that, I'm a confused person, but I choose to focus on one thing, and I just want to have this being, it's my choice just to focus on just this, and make everything this, and create my own things,
that's
from me.
That's what I've noticed that
every week I'm creating my own writings, and my blog posts are becoming like the week, and I'm also getting more in tune with different things about myself. Now, find wow, I can be creative a little bit, I like writing these little picture things. I like.
Yeah, they're good actually, aren't they?
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know who got me into it. I think Richard, because Richard was awesome. All the picture things.
Yeah.
He's on a different level, that guy. You got to meet him in person,
Did you see the escalator thing?
I love it, Richard, man. And the thing that he shared last week was so bizarre about meeting a guy named Richard Hunt. There's a millionaire. I was like, that was me, there's Mark Bergers out there. There's a Mark Berger in the industry, right? Who, oddly enough, is a big recruiter trainer. How odd is that? So he does recruiter training programs online, and it's just pretty funny. And thinking about it is, I'm going to start doing one.
Yeah.
I'm doing it's odd. Mark Berger doing recruiter training online, and there he is, doing it already. Well, we are. Adrian and I are really excited about this project, you know, and we realize that it's not about the money. It's about bringing more value to others. We want to make this like a value statement for people to utilize and, you know, to grow with. So anyway, I haven't had dinner yet.
And I've got to go to bed as well because it's 1:30.
Yeah, you got to go to bed, man.
And I've been doing my pretend work for a few days. This is the real work.
No, you got some really good compliments from Parry. You know, just said you look younger and younger. You know, actually, you don't look your age. You definitely got that. I love that childish aspect about you. You know, just like, you know, I wrote about that once. You know, like, for a lot. I love it. That's awesome, man. You definitely are. You know, you keep it real. You know.
Yeah, but
and today's video with Brian was so amazing. I loved it.
What's great, Mark, the thing that I've got to tell you is that even though I would still follow these principles without anybody else ever doing it, you know, and it would bring the real power of the proof of this stuff is in you. It's what you're doing and what Brian's doing, what Stephanie's doing, what Andrea's doing. You see, because all I'm doing is just saying, look, everyone can go to the same place and just trust their own intuition. And there's no gurus, there's no secrets, the only secret is that there's no secret, right? That it's everything available, all you have is within you. And that's what I love about what you're doing. You're just following the system and you're using the focus point as a springboard to your own intuition. And a lot of people never get to their own intuition because they're still filling it with too much other stuff, and the universe is saying, no, go straight to the. You can have your own ideas. They're just as good. They're way better. You know, you don't need other people's ideas.
But trusting, you're right. You know, trusting. You know, no one's gonna. Who's gonna judge the words that you write? You know, that was the whole problem about writing. How is my words judged? Oh, it's stupid. No one's gonna like it. You know. So
the only person that judges it is your script. No one else.
Yeah.
Mate, you go and have some dinner. I'm going to.
Good luck, Tom, and good luck to a happy family and everything. It's awesome, you know.
Doing the tea with.
You know, I'm very happy for you.
Well, thanks for that. Yeah, keep doing your show. Keep doing the tea with. That's great stuff. You just got to keep doing that. You know that is the tea with is an example, a demonstration of Greater Life for All, and it's just like one of the components. Greater Life for All is a kind of a code of practice, what, you know, that we will all operate in. That's what it is. And like, so what you will do and what I will do and what Brian will do independently and together is just like all these things. So, you know, I can see you already having, you know, I can see you being kind of like the spokesperson, the voice of it. I think Brian will be the intellectual guy who's going to come up with words and stuff.
And you're the technical guy. I mean, no, you know what's funny? I'll just end on this one, but I just love the headphone story, you know. And Angela saying maybe they wouldn't break it, won't bang your head against the wall.
That's right, the headphones. Yeah, that's funny.
Story. Well, what kind of headphones were they anyway? Because I bought some ones a little while ago, you know, but mine aren't like the talking ones. So there's like the what, you know, they're talking ones, right?
No, they were inner ear ones, but also with the microphone on it as well. So it's you plug them in,
right?
You know, so they fit in, but you've got the built-in microphone, so you can talk them. They're great headphones.
What make were they?
Can't remember the name they make. Really good. But you know what?
You still have the same Mac computer?
Sorry, what?
Do you still have the same Mac computer you had back then when you recorded the program?
No. Cindy gets that one now.
Oh, so it's still around.
Still around. 2008, I got that one, and it's still fine. It works perfectly.
Perfectly, right? It's pretty amazing stuff. You know, like a lot of things you say just hit me, like they stick with me. You know, because I listen to these programs every day, over and over again. They become like a part of me. Yeah. And now they had twice the speed. I listen to it twice as much. All right, dude. I'll let you go.
And it sounds really painful at normal speed now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like it faster.
Exactly. Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, buddy.
All right, have a good night.
Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, and thanks for everything that you're doing. And just, life is awesome. Gratitude is awesome. And, where can we go with this thing, with gratitude? Where can we go with, it's just lovely. If there is an end to how much, or if there's a limit to how much gratitude we can experience, where is that limit? Because I don't think there is an end, right?
I don't think you put a limit on it, or not.
Let's do it.
Put a limit on it,
Infinite.
It's kind of scary when you think about it, but why be scared of it?
Send my regards to your mother-in-law. Lovely to have a chat with her.
I will. All right, man. You're the man.
Yeah.
Right,
Take care, buddy. Bye.